Welcome, ladies, to the Real Estate Investor Show, providing inspiration, strategies, and insight to empower women investors to live balanced and financially free lives. Now, here are your co-hosts, Liz and Andresa.
Welcome back, ladies. This is Liz.
And this is Andresa.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Investor Show. Our mission is to empower women to live a financially free and balanced life. And you are back with us for a mini-sode. And mini-sodes are all about 10 minutes or less, sharing something useful to bring into your investing business, whether it be business, self-care, or obviously investing. So I am on today to talk about why you need a one-page, important stuff, why you need a one-page business plan. And don't press stop. This is going to be fun and important.
Oh.
I know people don't like talking about business plans, but this is so important. And I'm really excited to share this with all of you today.
It's no, you know why people don't want to talk about business plans? Because we imagine that like pile of like pages and pages and pages, and it's very overwhelming. And we might not know all the answers, right? So I love that you're going to share our first one-page business.
Okay, so I am going to talk about why you need a one-page business plan. First question you might be thinking is, what do I need this for? And what is it, so to speak? I'm going to explain what is it first, and then I'm going to talk about the importance and the why behind it. Because if I just describe the why, you're going to discount it because you don't really know what it is. So let me just share a little bit about a gentleman named Jim Horan, Horan, we'll put it in the show notes, wrote a very simple book. And I read it many, many moons ago. It's called The One-Page Business Plan. Literally, you can get it on Amazon. It's a nice little workbook. And as I was discovering, just to give you some context, as I was discovering business, and I was getting very overwhelmed because every bank we were talking to at the time said you need to have a business plan. I didn't know what they were talking about, to be honest. I'm like, what is in a business plan? I didn't get my MBA. So I was in my 20s. I was a little clueless. And as I read his book, it made it so like important and interesting and simple. And I'm like, wow, can a business plan be this simple? I didn't say easy to execute. I said simple. And that's the key with a business plan. At the time, we were writing this for a bank at the time, but then it really became just something internally as like a guide. And that's why I think every property, every business, every venture you are involved in, you need to have a one-page business plan. And Andresa and I, when we came together, 4 years ago?
1997.
Yeah, right. 1992. When we came together and started to talk about the real estate investor, it's one of the first things we did. What was powerful about it, and I'm going to get to what it is exactly, the 5 components here in a second. But what we did is we actually completed it separately. And then we came together and completed it. And then we talked about it together. What a great thing to do as a partner, as partners. What do you think? What do I think? And then we joined forces and said, okay, this is the one-page business plan for investor. And when we come together on projects, we use it as a guiding light because it is a helpful tool on so many levels. So let's talk about what goes into a one-page business plan.
And again, I'm glad we kind of like matched, right? Can you imagine if we were like, I want to plant potatoes.
And even today, right? We talk about the last time Andresa and I got together for our monthly strategic meeting, she brought up, where do you see us in 5 years? And we're morphing, right? You're always morphing. You're always expanding to the next thing. And if you don't talk about it, it's not like a one and done. You have to continually talk about it. People's lives change, their visions change. What is important to the community now is different than what Liz wants or Andresa wants. We have a much bigger thing in front of us than just what Liz and Andresa want, which was really 4 years ago, right? Was it just me and Andresa coming up with some new ideas? So let's talk about what goes into this one-page business plan. Highly recommend the book. I'm not sharing this so you don't get the book or anything because it's just a great resource and it actually has some great templates. But anyway, the first thing is a vision statement. We always hear about the importance of vision statements. And I always like to say a vision statement is focusing on tomorrow, not today, but tomorrow. And it's really about what you want your organization to look like tomorrow. All right. And there's a lot of things around that, but a vision is, I always heard a nice analogy. It's like going to the beach and seeing the horizon and go, I'm going to go swim out to that horizon. And then you start swimming. And then as soon as you get to it, what happens? It unfolds again. It unfolds again. And I think that's a perfect way to describe what a vision statement is. It's going to continue to unfold as an organization grows, but it's very, very, very important. A mission statement. I'm going to give you examples of this too, from back in the day, from Andresa and I, what we wrote 4 years to the day. But the mission statement is all about focusing on today, not tomorrow, but today. And it's really, what do you want to achieve? What does that organization want to achieve? What do you want to achieve in a building, in a property, in the business? Why I say property is that I don't know how many times Andresa and I had a great couple interviews recently about flipping. And it's actually the star and the creator of Fix My Flip. And Paige said something really powerful. She goes, I was asking a person who's flipping their property, what is their budget? What is their business plan? And they couldn't answer me that question. So my suggestion to you is, if you're getting into any property, any project, and you don't have a plan, again, it doesn't need to be a 50-page business plan. It needs to be a plan though. And it needs to be written down, very, very focused. Timeline, budget, what you stand for, everything. That's important. So I just want to make a note of that, because so many people don't even see that as an important thing. Get the vision statement, the mission statement. The next thing you want to do, in this order as well, in this order, is the objectives. So what are the objectives? What metrics? I know Andresa loves the word metrics. I do too, because I know the importance of them, in the sense of, like, what are you going to measure success with? What objectives are you going to have for the project, and how are you going to measure success? Very simple. But again, a lot of people don't look at that. That could be project-based. Again, that could be in a business perspective, right? And Andresa and I have our metrics that we have this year for all the different things that we're involved in. It's a very important piece that needs to be in that plan. The fourth thing is, it's almost like, okay, these are all great, but then the strategies, right? How are you going to actually execute these objectives, right? It's more the how behind the objectives. And you can go strategy to objective. I mean, there's a lot of different theories. Again, read Jim's book. He's more the expert than me, but those strategies are critical. And I have to say, the strategies will change. If you try something and it doesn't work, it's like, well, this was my strategy. Yeah, Andresa and I have had 1 billion strategies, and they haven't always worked with certain things. Okay, let's be nimble here. Let's shift this. Let's change this. So again, strategies are meant to be achieved, and it's the how, but you have to be flexible. I can't say that enough. And I think that's a key to being successful in this business, is being nimble and being flexible and adapting. I just want to say that. And then the last piece is the plan, right? So you get from the vision to the mission, to the objectives, to the strategies. And then the plan is, okay, Monday morning, what needs to happen? Like, literally tasks, right? So again, so many people focus on tasks, right? Andresa, they go right to the 5th thing. They go right to what needs to happen, but they don't have the guiding light of Andresa and I. So many times when we're going back and forth, it's not a surprise. Andresa and I are not going to agree on everything. We don't want to agree on everything. And we've come to really appreciate that about ourselves and who we are, right? But the community, our mission, our vision is like central, and we're very aligned with that. So everything else is just the way to get there, if that makes any sense. But if you don't have that, you're going to disagree on tasks all the time. And you're going to be so task focused that you don't even realize, what are we even trying to achieve? You know, what's the bigger thing here? So again, vision, mission, objective, strategies, and plans. I want to share a couple examples with a couple of minutes we have left. And it's interesting when you put these things on paper. I don't know the statistic, but the level of your success significantly increases when you put things to paper. There's a magic to it. There's a science behind it, but it's amazing. So I actually went into our Dropbox folder this morning, and I printed out some of the things that we wrote early on. So this is what we wrote 4 years ago. And I just think it's very, very, very interesting. Our vision, I'm going to read it. So I'm looking down, ladies. Our vision is to create a massive community to inspire millions of women who are real estate investors and in the real estate industry to live fulfilled and purposeful lives. This one-of-a-kind community of women will share knowledge and tools while providing support and accountability to one another. This community will consist of tons of online and in-person revenue opportunities, such as online, in-person mastermind groups, workshops, courses, and retreats.
That's very rough description, but that's true.
Right?
That's what it is.
So
we polished it.
We did polish it.
Yeah.
We did polish it. And, you know, I think what's really, really powerful to think about here, ladies, is that, you know, when you think about that vision, what we stand for is very aligned with that. I mean, would you agree, Andresa? It's very consistent, if you will.
Yeah.
And, the how, right? The strategies, the objectives, those things change. The mission, this is what we wrote for the mission. I think we've shifted this a little bit, but it's interesting.
Okay.
Like, this is so in today's society, this is a little, I don't know if we followed the exact directions, but I want to read it anyway.
Okay.
In today's society, most professional women have 3 jobs. This might be my brainstorm too.
Okay.
But women have 3 jobs: her business, her business/job, taking care of the household, typically taking care of kids. Now more than ever, women are drowning in their responsibilities. We all need the correct knowledge and support to grow our business and keep ourselves fulfilled and purposeful as women and as contributing members of society. I thought that was also very powerful, and so many, it's not just those 3 things, right? Women are pulled in a lot of different directions, but we created this community for that reason of, hey, how do we create financial freedom on our own terms without getting pulled apart? Because we know as women, we can do it, but how do we do it with more grace, with more ease, and with other women, So it's just neat. And then we talked about our first objective, I just want to read this really quickly and then I'll end. But our first our objective was to launch the world's top podcast for women in real estate. That was our first objective. And we did that, right? And we did that.
We
4
did
years.
that?
We did that.
We did. Well, read it again. Wait a minute.
Launched the world's top podcast for women in real estate.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And in my opinion, I think we are the top podcast.
We are.
So with that, I could keep reading. This is kind of fun, but I really want to encourage you to get the book, One Page Business Plan. And when you are moving into a new project, a new property, a new business, or even in your current business, quite honestly, is to take some time working on your business, not in it. Take a day and go right out. Make sure you have your vision statement, your mission statement, your objectives, and everything and align with that. And if you don't know what the vision and the mission of your organization is and your company, and your partners don't know, and you're not aligned on that, I don't see how you're going to exist long-term, to be perfectly frank. Because we're building something very big, Andresa and I, right? We're creating an intimate global platform, right? That's big, right? We want to impact millions of women. So her and I need to be aligned. Critical.
Absolutely.
Like that's Andresa says a must-have. So I'm going to wrap up. I went over a little bit here, but take something here, please. Very passionate about this because this is the key to creating the success you want. Doesn't have to be perfect, but get some things on paper and share with us and on the community too. We'd love to see it.
Tag us. And I want to see what's up with, if you have an old one that you want to share, I also would like to see that. We're always here to support you. Have a great day. Bye. If you enjoyed this podcast and want to receive updates on our next interviews, go to our website, therealestateinvestor.com. There, you can subscribe to our show, become part of our investor community, and get updates on upcoming episodes.
If you like our show, please share it with other women who would benefit. And don't forget to leave us a rating on iTunes. We'd really appreciate it. And as always, we encourage you to take one action as a result of today's show and put it into motion so you can live both a financially free and balanced life. Thanks for spending time with us.
Ciao.